All right, just ahead of our next guest, I want to update you on information I have been getting, and I'm sorry I can only report this as sources say, but here is my understanding about what really happened Sunday morning in Turin ahead of that All Blacks lacklustre performance against Italy. TJ Perenara was on his last game, and because he has led more Hakas for the All Blacks than anyone else, given thing, he did give a heads up to Scott Barrett and team management and to Razor Robertson that he would be making a personal statement or going off script a little bit at the top of the Haka. And he said all he would be doing would be delivering a message of unity. And of course, they go, unity, team sport, excellent. Good on you. Knock yourself out, TJ. He didn't tell them. He never told anyone in authority. He never told his captain. He never told Razor. He never told team management he was going to mention the Māori words associated with the Māori Party campaign against the ACT Party. He never told them he was going to politicise the Haka. He lied. I do not know what he told perhaps other Māori members of the team. And let's just listen, Ben, let's just listen to what Scott Barrett had to say. Okay, well, get working on putting it up. And Laurie, if you could just hold on. So what we have here is he said, I'm going to say something. He never mentioned the Treaty of Waitangi. Now, you'll notice that in the photographs after the match with the Māori sovereignty flag, not all the All Blacks are in that photograph. And notably absent are all the Barretts, Sam Cane, and Scott Barrett. And my understanding is within the All Blacks there is a sense of betrayal at what TJ Perenara did, and that it was incredibly disrespectful to Sam Cane, who, despite the fact he's not my favourite All Black of all time, is certainly a greater All Black, if we're going to make those comparisons, than TJ Perenara. So the feeling most definitely was, look, we'll come back to it. It's all right. I'll go to Laurie now, Ben, but do have it on standby. My understanding too is that management at New Zealand Rugby Union are wild as. And they've gone to Razor and the management of the All Blacks and said, we told you after that absolute cluster F with the women's team, there was to be no more of that and no surprises. Well, because they'd all been misled by TJ, they couldn't give the heads up. And there is a lot of discussion about that. But this all comes down to the narcissism of TJ Perenara, him lying to and misleading his teammates, his coach, his captain, and going ahead and basically, I think, raining on what should have been a parade for him and most certainly for Sam Cane. All that aside, it wasn't the most exciting game of rugby, and to discuss all that, we're joined now by our mate, former All Black coach, Laurie Baines. Laurie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Look, I don't know, and I guess I look at you, Laurie, and I've got great respect for you because you are old school. I don't know whether you want to get into the Haka stuff or not, and that's entirely up to you. Can you give us a steer on that?
Oh, look, I just think it's a measure of TJ Perenara, and I'll leave it at that.
Ooh, that's a bit cryptic. Okay, I think I know how to say that. Look, whatever happened before the game and the histrionics and the narcissism afterwards, it was a bloody flat game of rugby, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think there's, very good reason for that. Though that All Black team, basically apart from Will Jordan, who was brilliant in all of the games, they went through a very tough super season. They've had 14 tests this year. Now, that is an incredible number of test matches to have in a non-World Cup year. And I think leading in with England, Ireland and France, there's every reason to excuse the All Blacks for being flat for that Italy game.
Right. And it's hard on the road, isn't it?
It's very hard on the road, and it's very hard to come up week after week after week like that, particularly at the end of a long, hard season. They won the match. I personally thought that I'm very happy they won to end off the season. I can see all of the reasons why they were a bit flat.
Okay. And I guess, but we expect a lot as All Blacks fans, and I expected one of those, we got beat last week, we're going to show the world that we're better than that, and they often do that, the All Blacks. You never want to play them after a loss because they come back screaming, even if it wasn't your team they lost against. But once again, I didn't really feel that. I didn't feel like I looked at any players who were playing for their position. It was almost like, let's get the last game over and done with, Laurie, and get home.
Well, yeah, there is a counter to that. There could well have been a bit of that in it.
Yeah.
Will Jordan was brilliant, and as I've already stated, he was fresh. But you have to give credit to Italy.
Yeah.
Their rush defence and their tackling and so on was outstanding for most of the game.
Yeah.
And look, I think some of these teams watched the way Ireland tried to spoil the All Blacks game, and Italy were very much the same.
Yeah.
In the early part of that match, they gave away quite a few penalties. They were killing everything. And the All Blacks were frustrated at that and couldn't get their game going. Yeah. I think referees have got to start taking a much tougher stance. There we go and get 2 yellow cards for accidents, and they were just accidents. And yet Italy got away with killing stuff, ruck after ruck after ruck, and flopping around offside and slowing the ball down and everything else. Nobody in the sin bin, despite them being cautioned.
Yeah, that did seem inconsistent. But we win, and a win's a win. Just want to talk about a couple other things. Wallace Satiti, World Rugby's Breakthrough Player of the Year. You reckon that's well-deserved, Laurie?
I do. I think he's been fantastic. I wasn't sure. I mean, he had a strong super season. I wasn't sure how well he would take the step up. Yeah. But he put that concern to bed very early on in his Test career. Yeah. And he's had a great year. Yeah. He reminds me of Adi Savia going back.
Yeah, he does. Exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking we don't have to worry. And geez, Adi's such a great, gutsy, big heart of a player, but he can't play on forever. And you think there is the next generation of absolutely inspirational Lucy.
Yeah, Adi Savia, if he's not the best rugby player in the world, he's got to be very close to it.
Yeah. And look, I've never been, I'll be honest, I've never been a Sam Cane fan. But he's a Centurion. I said the All Blacks, a great All Black finished his career on Sunday. One great All Black. And geez, it's kind of a story with Sam of what might have been, isn't it? All those injuries and timing and playing, I guess, under the shadow and taking over from Richie. Bloody hard time.
It was. And look, I'm an admirer of Sam Cane. Yeah. He's been one of the grittiest and toughest rugby players that the All Blacks have had. And he could never, ever be accused of not giving a rugby match everything that he's got. He's been a very valuable All Black. Very his actual playing was affected a little bit by being captain. I think he's come back on this tour very, very well. I think he's played an important role for the All Blacks on this tour. So I'm not one that would be critical of Sam Cane in any way at all.
And it's that his timing was lousy, and the fact that he kept at it, and I got to say, kept loyal to his team. It was always about the team, not Sam. Is a testament to the guy.
It is, and look, the vast majority, and we'll leave TJ Perenara at the side of this, but the vast majority of All Blacks, particularly those that have been there for some time, there's only one thing that matters for them, is their performance in the team unit.
Yeah. And look, I think I understand what sort of a bloke you are, Laurie. And I think you are from the old school, so we don't sit there and it's a bit girly to bitch about someone, I guess, behind their back. But I've always thought in whatever the endeavour, you are loyal to your team and you don't lie to your team mates and you don't lie to the boss or go behind his back.
Yeah, well, that is true. And as I said at the start of this program, that is a measure of TJ Perenara, not a measure of the All Black management or captaincy or the All Black team. That is a measure of the person who did it.
Laurie, I thank you very much as always for your time and for just, being our resident expert on this tour. We'll talk again soon, mate.
All right, Sean, thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye. Laurie Mains, former All Black coach. Well, no doubt, I don't think what he thinks of TJ Perenara